Chupacabra.
What up, people? We got a good one today. I'm kind of excited for this one. You excited for this one, homie?
Oh, dude, you don't even know, son. You don't even know.
We get to see some sweet monitors today, guys. Like this is gonna be fun for sure. I'm excited.
And we have what happens when croc monitors go bad. So stay tuned for that. I hope everybody's enjoying their Saturday. It's storming here, but I love it. I'm drinking my Modelo on episode 41. 41 already, Justin.
Right?
Yeah.
We're pushing these episodes. I like it. Come on.
I'm telling you. And the guests are just awesome every time. And the comments are always blowing up. Don't worry, we're going to get to y'all. We have a couple things we got to do. They scratch my back. So, you know, RWO HP 60. Do it.
You guys, go to Husbandry Pro. Get your free 60 days. Everybody wants something for free. There's your free 60 days. And if you already have an account, you can put that on top of your account and get your 60 days after the last month that you paid.
For sure.
Use the hell out of it. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. And shout out to Chris at BNS Reptilia. If you're looking for a substrate, Cocoa to Go or the Chipper is the way to go. Go.
Look at that. Go to Chris, get your Cocoa to Go or the Chipper. You get your Chipper in 10-pound blocks, your Cocoa to Go in 18-pound bags. And it's already already mixed with the Cocoa to Go. You just open it and use it. It's nice. I like it. It's actually good quality. Come on.
I had to go get a refill, everybody. Before long, I'm going to be in a new setting, and I'm going to have a whole refrigerator behind me full of beer. And every night on the Sippin' Show, I'm going to christen it with my spittle.
I got a vision banner coming. I do got a vision banner coming.
Oh, nice. And you got some cool stuff, too. You can talk about here in a little bit.
I did get some visions. So come on.
Speaking of, if you want some vision products, you can always go to www.visionproducts.us and be like Mike.
Mark with Vision here. We're showing off the new Visionarium. See a couple examples here. These are going to be a new product from us coming out hopefully the end of the year. It is modeled off our V35 and V70 tub, 3X height. So we're doing about 15 inches on this. You'll have options for doors on one side or up to all four sides on each of the tubs. We got vents on the front and the back. You will have options for windows as well if you just want that instead of the doors. We'll have perforated options and glass options. This was the V35. This is going to be the V70, so you get a little bit bigger option. We have a bearded dragon set up here and a pixie frog in this one. Show a little bit of versatility of using it for a desert species versus tropical. We have lids that are built in as well. These are going to have options for your lighting. These are going to be a halogen light or an LED light, and they will snap into the lid. C5 lighting, other UVB and halogen lighting options. Options will be available for misters, temperature probes, and fans, depending on what the customer wants.
Let's go. Go to www.visionproducts.us or go to customcagesandaquariums.com. You know what I'm
You're
saying?
talking about decals. I always keep a fresh rolled Vision
Look at
decal
that.
on deck.
I like it.
But yeah,
We got
for sure.
We got
And,
a hog-nosed breeder rack coming, so I will release kind of the news. We do got a Vision product coming, a hog-nosed breeder rack. So you guys stay tuned. You get to see some of the hog-nosed stuff they got for us. You know?
Justin's going to show you how to build it. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah,
I got to give one more shout out before we bring our guest of honor down there at the Lizard Lounge crew. If y'all don't know about the Lizard Lounge crew, y'all are in for a treat tonight. This is going to be a dope episode, like Justin said. A lot of knowledge. The dude's got some beautiful snakes too. Okay. We are going to talk about some snakes, but we're going to focus on the lizards because Justin just got a new addition that we're going to talk about here in a little while. And he can throw up the thing that he's got going on his channel on Instagram and all that. But before we do that, I want to show everybody my shirt, right?
These not words.
Needs to go to there you go. www.thefatmannation.com and get your Deeds Not Words too. 100% of the proceeds go to Camp Freedom to support your vets and their families.
Come on, guys.
Let's do it. If you live in this country, whichever side you're on, support your troops and your first responders. You know what I mean? Because chances are most of them don't like it either. But we got a cool guest. And Justin, are you ready to bring him up? I can't wait any longer.
I'm ready.
I got more videos and ads that I want to show, but we'll get into them later. We got plenty of time.
We got plenty of time. We got save some for the
Without further ado, Nick and Nick.
Nick, come on.
Hey fellas.
Look, and he's got one. That's a tree monitor, right?
Yeah.
Blue tree monitor.
Blue one.
Yeah.
Coming in hot with the lizards. I love it. I like that shirt too, man. How you doing, dude?
I'm doing great.
Anticipating this.
What do you got there? Pedialyte?
Oh, I'm drinking Modelo. He's drinking his Red Bull.
Okay.
I got Red Bull.
He's not a sipper anymore. He gave it up. He got back on the wagon.
Nice.
I've been getting in shape and whatnot, so I kind of quit on my alcohol for a little bit.
Good for you, man. Good for you. Yeah.
Well, we'll run through some of these comments and then we'll just bust right on into this.
Yeah.
We got Duval. What's up, man? All of our chat's loyal supporters. Speaking of the Deeds Not Words, we got Green Line Morse down there, everybody. Stay tuned for the best reptile commercial in the industry.
Facts.
We got Tara Voodoo. Good to see you. And listen to me and just share this out and just do something nice for Nick for a change. Share this video out. It's going to be worth it. Brave.
What's up, Brave?
Up? We got Jared at Gym. What's up, buddy? Kurtwood.
That's my choo.
I play a game with the audience. Every time they cheers, I cheers. That's why I went and got another beers.
Come on.
You don't have to play depending on what you're drinking because you can get drunk. What's up, Dustin?
Dustin.
I need to check my Instagram messages. I'm sure they've messaged me. Catalina, what's up?
Thanks to everybody, actually. They got some good stuff coming in.
Sammy. Third
coach.
Don't worry, Catalina. Let me run through these comments. I'm counting everybody. I'm counting all the chugs. I'm telling you. What's up, Dennis? Brotherhood. I love these comments. Thank y'all. Keep them coming. We got Keys Constrictors. What's up, Keys?
Got Bosa.
I think G Paul just got a snake from him.
Let's go.
Pretty sweet. I'll throw the comments up. So what's up, Nick, man? Where you at, dude? What's you sales pitch? You know what I'm saying? What's going on?
Yeah, man. I don't sell anything. So there you go. So I'm the cheapest and the most expensive at the same time. Yeah, I'm up in Minnesota, right in the middle of Minnesota, and we yeah, hey, come on, man. But we did have some 70-degree days already, and now we've got snow. Where are you guys? I was asking. Curious.
I'm in Florida.
Oh,
in Florida.
I'm in Alabama currently, and then this summer I'm moving back to Georgia.
Okay, I figured you guys were just straight below. So yeah, we're just hanging out in the Lizard Lounge, and just kind of doing our thing.
Speaking of, I don't know. I'm sure everybody in here follows you because some of your pictures are some of the most awesome pictures on Instagram. To be honest, the colors of the green snakes and everything you have. But If y'all didn't know, his room that he's in is like the most epic thing that you've ever seen.
It is.
I'm serious. Lightly, it's epic.
That.
So I
that.
suggest everybody go and check out his room, man. Like it's like a dream for somebody like me. There's like a bar down there, you know what I mean? Like, and like just cages everywhere of big lizards and big snakes. You know,
plants everywhere, which is nice. I love the
plants everywhere, dude. Your plants are fabulous, dude.
So that's the one thing. I mean, I've been keeping reptiles since the 90s. So reptiles are part of my blood. Plants, I couldn't keep one alive to save my life until I went full hippie and I started collecting rainwater. And ever since, nothing down here gets tap water, nothing. And the plants are the same. And that has been like, so if you want to improve your botany skills, I guess, is that botany? Is that what that is?
Yep.
I think it is botany, yeah.
But seriously, put a 5-gallon pail under your spigot and water your plants with that, and the stuff.
Well, you know, if you have, I ran into this last summer, or not summer, but around October when I had surgery and I was out. Our buddy Kiko at Floro Esoterica, he does plants and he does like carnivorous plants, and he was saying that you can't use tap water and you have to use rainwater. So I was like praying for rain, and I never got it. So I had to try to use this pH balanced, expensive water from the grocery store, and it didn't work.
Yeah,
it didn't work at all. It was like too many electrolytes. I guess I don't know.
I got to check on something. I think the black dragon just came out of the bathroom. So 2 seconds.
Oh man, you're good. I got something for that. Yeah. Everybody, speaking of Jay, since he's in the house, I'm gonna run it, and hopefully we see a black dragon when he comes back.
Here at Greenline Morphs, I am dedicated to producing the very best in high-quality ball python combos while upholding the highest standards of integrity and customer service. Every ball python I produce is a reflection of my commitment to excellence. Health, genetics, and overall quality are my top priorities. I do not cut corners, and I will not compromise my integrity.
Owned and operated by 4-time combat veteran Jay Capps, Greenline Morphs is a military-oriented ball python breeding operation built on the core values of discipline, integrity, and attention to detail.
My mission is simple: to provide my customers with investment-quality ball pythons, backed by pristine customer service. Whether you're a breeder looking to elevate your collection or a collector searching for a standout animal, you can trust that every Greenline Morphs animal meets the highest standards in the industry.
Come on, look at it.
Oh,
I can't wait for it to get big. I can't wait for it.
Look at that, Justin. Tell me, and I
ain't even full grown. That ain't even full grown. That's still a baby.
Oh yeah, year old now for sure.
Yeah,
that's a year old.
Yep.
Right. Wow. So mine's like 5 to 6 months.
Yeah,
and it's like not even a quarter of that.
I told Justin they grow really fast and they go through a spurt, and some of them go through like a bitchy phase. I don't know how else to say it, but I ain't never had a black dragon.
Well, here I can kind of we can go ahead and kind of show you, because I'm gonna the audience is deciding on a name for me.
That's the most beautiful.
So you can kind of see what it looks like, Nick. I'm gonna kind of show you. So we'll throw this up here. You guys can see the name. Boom, there she is. Yeah. We're gonna go with Naira.
Look at that little baby, Nick. Look at that little baby.
Love it.
So beautiful.
So they're gonna be Naira, Sable, or Zelda. So you guys out there in chats, y'all can put it in the chats. I'll write some down, but really, y'all guys just DM me on Instagram what you guys want to vote. Y'all
I'm against Zelda. Y'all don't vote Zelda.
I like Naira. I want to call her Nye. You know,
I like Sable because Sable reminds me of that sexy wrestler.
You know, right?
Yeah, but look at that thing, man. So this is good.
That's beautiful.
This is good. So what do you primarily feed your Asian water monitors?
A big variety. They get rodents. I mean, rodents they would eat every time, obviously. That's kind of like the cheeseburgers, right? But they get rodents. He gets rodents twice a week because he's growing. My Kamingi that's back there, that's probably about 5 foot long, gets rodents once a week. Once they kind of slow down their growing, then it's a lot of quail. It's a lot of fish. I shouldn't say a lot of fish. Some fish.
And real
and-
quick, why do you
yeah.
not do a lot of fish? Is it? I'm curious. Is it? I've heard it might be because mercury. Is that why?
You know, part of it honestly is what it when they go to the bathroom on fish, man, it is
Well, yeah, okay,
absolute-
yeah. Okay, so that's really why it's not
Yeah,
for
yeah.
their
Yeah.
like what? So
Yeah.
basically, do you think it's okay if you can handle the smell or whatever? That's like a good thing to do.
For sure. Yep, yeah, and I usually go with salmon just because it's really nice and you get the omegas and stuff like that, and
Right.
that seems like a good meal for them.
I was watching one guy use a lot of mackerel, and then I just
Sure.
actually got
Yeah.
I got mine to do the the silver sides, which she
Oh,
just
sure,
got some
yeah.
silver sides today, and I was like, well, I wanted to get better calcium than that powder shit on crickets. So
Yep,
I
yep.
was like, let me get some silver sides that have way more bones and all that in it. So she tore them up today. Actually, I was like, holy shit, hell yeah!
No, they
you know?
love it. They love it. Yeah. Slices of salmon is really good. You know, even tilapia. There's a lot of people that feed that, which is fine. I just, you know, for me, it's kind of a blend of those. They get a lot. Mine get a lot of eggs, and eggs kind of do the same thing a little bit. But they
Eggs
just
are
love 'em.
nasty when they come out of the other end for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah,
But they
so,
are
but-
very good for them, you
Yeah.
know. Like,
But that's also why I kind of keep them the way I do. He was in the bathroom. They're pretty much potty trained to the most for, you know.
in the tub.
Yeah, mine actually, I set them in the tub, and before I can turn the water on, they're going to the bathroom.
I told
That
you,
is-
Justin. It's crazy,
That's-
dude. Yeah.
That's what I want to do. That's
Yeah.
exactly what I want to do
Yeah.
right there. Shit like
Yeah,
that.
so schedule being on a routine is everything with these guys. You know, when they wake up in the morning, you know, like mine will wait for me for about 2 hours, and after about 2 hours, they're like, you know, screw you, and then they'll go in their water in their, you know, in their enclosure, and then it's
So
you know,
mine uses in its enclosure, you know, it's on the porch outside on the screen
Yep.
porch, you know, and it uses the bathroom and the water religiously. It will, you know,
Yep.
it will not use the bathroom anywhere else. It's got a big, you know, like it's got the big
Yep.
water reservoir and stuff like that. And I just don't take mine out. But yeah, they do you. I mean, have you noticed that most monitors like to just use the bathroom in the water? I don't understand it. And water monitors like to swim in their own filth. A lot
they
of
don't have a
times.
choice. If it's dirty water, they don't have a choice.
Well,
They love to
but-
swim, you know, yeah.
But you know,
Yeah,
it's
they don't
like,
see-
okay, this is my thing. I'll clean out the enclosure, right? I'll clean
Yeah.
out the water reservoir. I'll drain it out. I'll chlorhexidine it if it's real bad. Scrub it down, bro. And then flush it out and fill it back up. It's like 50. Well, it's probably 25 gallons of water, 20 gallons of water. And then it will get in the water when I'm filling it up and get under the water hose and go. And I mean go, bro. And then I got to do it all over again. But if I as soon as I fill it back up, you know, I'll come home from work and it's used the bathroom in the water and it's just sitting in the water. And I'm like, you have this huge area to get out of the water. Why are you in there? And I think that it's a defense mechanism in the wild because where they live, if you notice, they're always in those nasty ass sloughs in the cities and like all that. And it's like, do they do that so they smell so that things don't mess with them?
You know, that's an interesting theory. And the other one that I've thought of when I think of that too, like if I notice my monitors spending an exorbitant amount of time in the water, and when I see that, a lot of times it also can be temperature, that it's just too hot.
Yeah,
And
or
they'll go in there
humidity, I believe too.
Yeah, and they'll
or
just go in there to
humidity.
cool down. They're like mine. I mean, even after I feed them and I let them cruise, they all go behind the bar where it's nice and cool, and they will sit back there and dig themselves underneath some like fake plant stuff and then just go to sleep. They are not looking for heat. I've got heat everywhere down here, and they'll spend about 2 seconds under that heat, and then they'll usually go try to find a nice cool place to, you know.
Like they want a cool down period. It's like they want a good cool down period.
I just want to point out, Justin, look at that thing just chilling with him.
Chilling. That's what I want mine to do. I want mine to be a big baby. Now I gotta ask Nick, because I know I've looked up pictures. They get well like 5 foot, 6 foot. Because you keeping her inside now. What's your plan with her? Are you gonna build a big walk-in enclosure inside and have one outside for her? Or?
Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing. Like what I'm doing right now, I've been using the dubia cages mainly because they're inexpensive and they're modular, but they're not sold to be modular. So like what I've been doing is getting like the 5-footers, leaving the back off of them and putting multiples kind of behind and next to them.
Cool.
you know, that way they still got the nice sliding glass, and they still have all the, you know, and I'm, you know, actually talking with Dubia right now kind of about what I'm doing with their stuff, because it really kind of, by the time you build something, it's, you know, it weighs so much. And
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, that's kind of the plan. And I'm also kind of I've noticed that I'm not a guy that keeps my stuff in huge enclosures because they all come out. They
Yeah, I
all
was gonna
spend a
say
ton of
your
time.
stuff is out most of the time. Every time I
Yeah.
see you on a live, so it's like it's
And I think if it kind of depends on your perspective or you know, if you're gonna have an animal that's gonna spend like a ton of time in their enclosure, like maybe you get a croc monitor and you're not looking to interact, give that sucker a room, because
Right.
that's the best thing
Right.
you can do. I mean, that all the enrichment needs to be in there, all of the whatever, you know. But if you're willing to actually work with them and make a bigger space, like you guys have the outside stuff, I do too. It's seasonal. But then down here, I mean, they got this entire room. They got the bathroom. We do all
Right.
kinds of things. I think you can then get away with, you know, a little bit smaller of an enclosure. And what I found too is working with these guys. I've done it with tree monitors. I've taken, you know, juvenile tree monitors and put them in a 4x4, and they're scared out of their mind until you put them in something smaller, because
Smaller. Yeah.
even just to get to them, they've got all
They
that
want
room
that
to run from
definement.
you. Yeah, and it's so, you know, so I mean, I got a green tree monitor that's still in a 2x4x2. I mean, they're a smaller monitor, but he's got 3 places to completely hide. And until I put him back in that smaller grow up enclosure, I mean, you could never catch him, and he was bashing his face in, trying to get away from you, and
From you.
you
Right.
know,
Right.
so there's a, you know, there's a strategy there that, and I've seen it work. I mean, my animals aren't like pawing to get out all day long. They've got what they need. The gradient, I work really hard to get a really nice gradient. Like he's got all my monitors are like go from like probably 125 to down to like 75, you know, and
Oh
that's a
wow.
really
Okay.
nice,
Yeah.
that's a really nice gradient.
Yep.
So you got to have, you know, got to be able
I
to
can,
move some
so
air.
I don't need to worry too much at night because I'm keeping it around like 80 to 85 at night. And I was like,
Oh
man,
yeah.
is that a little too low? Because I've seen where a lot of people run like 85, 90. And I was like, is that a little too low? But
That's a good, like, that's even a high ambient temperature as far as I'm concerned, just
okay.
because in that, you know, like mine go down to I think 78 at
Okay.
night in their
Okay.
enclosure, you know, unless they go climb up on their hot spot.
Then I'm kind of
But
perfect. Then I'm kind of like
I'm
right
not
there.
gonna lie, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Mine's outside on the porch, and it'll get before I turn the heat emitter on and the oil heater out there, because it's closed off of plastic, you know, when on the cooler months. And but yeah, it'll probably get down to like 70, 75. And but it's fine. It like I've said, my monitor is like a survivor, because when I first moved here and put it out there, the power went out one night in the wintertime. We have like tornadoes real bad in the winter here, and they'll knock the power out constantly. And it was out there, and it was probably like 30 degrees outside, and the power went out, I guess, in the middle of the night. And I woke up and I was like, damn, the power's out. And then I was like, oh crap, my monitor's out there,
Right.
you know? So I ran outside, and of course it was in the water, because my monitor likes
the
to
coldest
sleep.
part of their enclosure.
Yeah,
Probably.
the coldest. It was frigid cold, dude.
Yep.
And I grabbed it and I put
Yep.
it in my coat and brought it in the house and put it in my shirt, you know, and was like warming it up slowly, and it came back. They're super I don't suggest that. That's not. But what I'm getting at is they are pretty resilient.
I think the big thing to keep in mind is if they're in their enclosure and they're not afraid, so they're willing to use every inch of it. If you give them a choice between 75 and 90, and they spend time at 75, that's telling you something. And in the wild, their nighttime temperatures drop down like that. So as long as it's not, you know, if they had a big meal, like mine ate a little bit later today, I'm kind of anticipating they might overnight shift a little bit closer to that heat source, you know?
Right.
And so, yeah, and it's, you know, it's a lot of things
Yeah,
I
you
just
can
pay
tell
attention to.
because I have I use like a block, like
Okay.
a brick type deal. I use a brick underneath the heat lamp so she can get that belly heat. And you could tell after she eats, like tonight she ate a good meal. And I bet money when her lights go off on the timer, she'll go underneath because it's kind of like a U-shaped cave. She'll go underneath that block because that block's holding some more heat, and I feel like she's using it to digest some of that food. You know.
Yeah. Well, see, I've heard too. Well, as long as you keep that hot spot for so many hours a day, the nighttime temperature is not an end-all be-all with digestion.
Right.
Because if you can, because in the wild, honestly, I don't think that it's going to be that hot all the time, you know, like even in their natural habitat. So like, as long as they get, what is it, 8, they say they need 12 hours of light or whatever. So I guess that means 12 hours of heat as well.
Sure.
For proper digestion.
Yeah.
And you know, you got 24 hours in a day. So if you figure, if you had it on a timer, it should be fine, relatively speaking, I guess.
Yeah. And now with the, you know, some of those thermostats that are the dual with the night drop, and that's what I use now. You know, I won't plug any brands unless you want me to, but there's a really nice one out there.
I'm not endorsed, but I like my Herbistat because they do a cool down.
Absolutely. Yep. There you go. So there you go. So that's what you're looking at. If you can do that, you know, then you can just kind of watch them and see how they respond and react. I mean, if they've got a warmer option and they're not afraid to go there, and they're not choosing to go there, that's telling you something. And if they're not throwing it up and they're ready to eat again in a day and a half or something, you know, I mean, I mean, they're kind of, what's that?
No, go ahead, my bad. Go ahead.
I mean, they are kind of bulletproof. And I think part of the problem with them being so resilient is, you know, they are like, you know, people
take advantage of it.
Yeah. And they, you know, what I found, like, if you just dial that little bit in for them and give them that opportunity, they'll use it and they can just be amazing then, you know?
Heck yeah. I gotta ask too, like, so are you using, I know you're using UVB bulbs. Now I see, like, because I've been, since I got this, I've been just researching, looking up people's.
I like that. I like where you're going, Justin.
Yep. And I see some people use heat panels for their basking area. They'll use a UVB and they'll use a heat panel. And then some people are still using just a heat emitter light, you know, like that has the basking bulb, more or less, should I say. What are you using? What do you kind of prefer? What do you think's kind of better?
Well, I don't know if it's better, but I think it's a great option. And what I do when I look in this room, you know, back in the 90s, it was halogen bulbs, right? Everything was halogen bulbs, and we didn't really we just shut them off at night.
Halogen bulbs and heat rocks, baby.
Exactly. You know, I mean, which, I mean, there's still, you know, there's still a, definitely. But I think honestly, the only thing I use halogen bulbs for in this whole room are my chameleons and my day geckos. And that's it.
So I use heat panels. So you are using
I use heat panels for some of the snakes, but I'm a big fan of the deep heat emitters only because they really project like a halogen, like a heat panel.
That's what I got. A ceramic heat emitter.
It's a little more.
Is that what you're talking about? The ceramic heat emitter? Yeah, you're talking about a ceramic heat bulb. So
right. Yeah. Well, not the ceramic ones. The ones that are carbon fiber. They have a carbon fiber
element. I don't know about that. I've used this.
I don't know about that.
Oh, they're deep heat emitters, and they look like a halogen ball, but they've got kind of like a wire cage on the front, and then an element inside.
Oh, I've used those. Yeah. Arcadia has those,
and
Arcadia. I used to use them for my Tegu.
Yeah,
because it would bust the bulb.
Yeah, and what I like about them is obviously, you know, they don't give off any light, so they're great at night to be able to then drop the temperature and hold the temperature wherever you want. But then during the day, I also, because you have to have that heat on a thermostat, that light would kind of dim and shut off and turn on, and I didn't want that. I'm a little OCD when it comes to stuff
it's gonna dull the life of your bulb too, shutting on and off like that.
Yeah.
So all the lighting you see in all the cages behind you is all LED, like Philips, like the Home Depot stuff, where it's all, you know, I control it all from my phone, and it doesn't have anything to do with the temperature. There's not, so it's.
But you have UVB in there, right? Or are you using
UVB as well, and that's those are all the
So what do you use for your UVB? Like, I'm curious too, because I'm moving and mine's fixing. I have to go in the garage in a big cage, and I want to know because I've been looking at them, and I don't want to get, you know, I want the best for it, you know.
Yeah, I use the Arcadia, what is it called? The Lumens, I believe, or Luminese or something. They're the Pro model where you can actually put a schedule on your phone and it'll actually turn on.
Oh, the Arcadia LEDs.
Well, no, there. It's actually the bulb. It's actually the UVB bulb, but
A
it's called
fluorescent tube
it's
bulb.
called yeah, it's called Luminese, I believe.
Well, I used to use Arcadia when I had my
Right?
Tegu.
Yeah,
It
it's
was
that little
the tube
the very
bulb.
bottom one there, that one right there, that
Oh, yeah.
Luminese right there. Yeah, so so then it's you can control kind of the ramp up and all the stuff. Where'd that guy do? Where'd he go? I got to grab that
See,
black
I was
dragon.
wanting to do the cage that I'm doing is it'll be able to climb, and
Yeah.
my lizard is very, very like, what is it, curious. So it will get up there and shatter that bulb if I don't have a cage. If I had a cage, yeah. But I feel like I would get a lot of life out of what do you think about LED bulbs? I mean, do you just not like those for a certain reason?
Well, actually, those Luminese are LED UVB bulbs, Nick. They are LED.
The LED long. Okay.
UVB. Yeah, that's what those.
Yeah, well they
Luminese
actually have two
are LED.
kinds. They have
Yeah.
two kinds. They've got the
they have
LED
two- okay.
and the actual fluorescent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
and everything down here is LED. I mean, everything down here is LED. That's to be able to control it and stuff. So yeah, I use a combination of that. So it's DP heat emitters for the heat, LED for the kind of the lighting, the look, and then the UVB for the for that. So
Come on.
Nice.
I think that's what I'm gonna try to do different. Then I might just put an LED light in there and take my basking bulb out because I'm using a basking bulb with a stone, and I might either do my heat panel and just put my heat panel back up there on a thermostat, or I might just freaking do that deep heat emitter. I like that. That's kind of
So, and I use the same thing in my monitors. The deep heat emitter shoots down to a rock or a stone, and that rock gets it. And then I temp that rock, and it's like 130 degrees.
Well,
if you do,
you don't mind me asking, what wattage are you using? My bad.
Well, it depends on the size of the cage. For Jack, the one I just had, it's two 150s. And they're kind of spread out a little bit just because, you kind of want to have it roughly the size of their, at least their
you don't
body.
want it to be one bulb pinpointed.
No, yeah, that's, and that heats up and he'll use that. And then even, I know they say monitors like it hot and they do, but they're not going to spend, my monitors spend about 2% of their day basking.
Yeah, in the summertime, mine outside, I know I temp the ledge where it sits in the sunshine, and it gets every bit of 145, 160 on a really hot day when that sun is beating, and it'll go up there, and then it'll go in the water, and then it'll go up there, and then it'll go back in the water all day, bro.
Yeah.
And it's like I thought it was like hurting it. I thought it was too much, but then it's not. I mean, they like it really hot, but if you do have to give them the option to get away from it, of course.
Yeah. Well, if you think about it, they're the way they kind of do their life is they're always chasing they're always chasing that temperature. By the time they get to that body temperature that they're looking for, they're already exceeding it. So they have to go and cool down, and then they get too cold. So then now they have to go. So it's like they're chasing the dragon all day long. But it's just so I've just kind of seen that. So and I think that's cool because if you have it set up so it's perfect, they'd never have to leave and they'd never have to move, And I like to see my guys move and hunt around and
like I said, that's on those really, really hot days.
I love it. Just running around in there.
But usually, though, it is sitting on that ledge in the sunshine most of the time. When it's some hot days, that's rare. But for the most part, it is chilling up there, just chilling.
Yeah.
All day. And then at night, it goes under them rocks, like I was talking about backstage, where it'll just wedge itself. And sometimes I go out there and I have to knock the cage. I'm like, are you okay? Because it looks dead. Yeah. It's like wedged with its neck turned in between them rocks. And it has every option to not be like that. And I'm like, that looks scary. So I'll do it. And then its little eye will open like a freaking raptor.
Right.
Like, leave me alone. And then it'll go back down.
Yeah. Even my big one, which his name is Big Bird, big Kamingi, yellow and black. They at night, like even right now, he's wedged. You can't even see him in his enclosure. They love to just disappear. So I'm giving them a place to be secure, even when they're completely socialized and completely not afraid. They love to just wedge themselves somewhere, and that's just part of their
Well,
DNA.
it's like us having a blanket. Most people like
right.
a blanket when they go to sleep, right? It's
Yep.
that security.
Yep. Yeah, and that's one of the when I've been working with the tree monitors and that type of thing, what I found is kind of once you get, and I do this to Jack as well as with the handling and stuff, is once you get to that point where they're not afraid of you and you're ready to kind of take your handling kind of to the next level, and I'll grab him quick. I'll show you what I'm talking about.
See, I've been looking into, I really like the tree monitors a lot.
Oh, they're awesome.
Because
so
the blues really, once I started getting into tree monitors, it was when they stopped the sale and whatever of the blues. And I was pissed. I was mad as hell. And now apparently it's not like that anymore.
Yeah. I got mine just as that was shutting down. Like,
for real?
like literally so close that it was almost illegal.
I bet that scared you. I bet that was scary for a little bit.
Not for me.
I would have been tripping out.
But it was like. But anyway, so one of the things that I think is really cool you can do with monitors is obviously how you handle them, right? And a lot of people, I hand him to people and they can kind of get out of hand. They start crawling and but you can kind of use your hands to kind of direct them, obviously, and get in their way. I always tell people, like, you're not going to offend this guy by like blocking him. You're going to offend him by hanging on. I have to block
mine every day. I change his motor. I have to just stand in front of the door so it moves, so it doesn't, because it wants to come out and play, but I can't. I can't right now.
But one of the things I do with mine is once, like with this, where he wants to cruise, I'll actually kind of grab him, put his tail down here, and just kind of hold him, and I'll just
like a baby.
Yep. And the minute I do that, he relaxes and then I relax. So it's kind of like he feels my tension. And because he knows I'm not a threat, he doesn't see that as a threat. And they actually like being compressed. That's what they do in nature, is they wedge themselves into things. So if you can be part of that, and then I can actually flip him on his back and trim his nails with a Dremel.
I was going to ask you that. That was going to be one of my questions. Because I know by watching your videos, I could tell that you trim their nails. Yep. So when do you start introducing this to them, and what age?
Right away, as soon as you can. I mean, I got my Kamingi when he was 1.5 years, so obviously, and he came from a breeder down in Florida, Martin. Do you know Martin? A Reptile Ranch or some kind of thing like that. Anyways,
Reptile Ranch does sound familiar.
There you go. Yeah. So, and it's obviously a big facility. It's captive bred, but these things aren't worked with, right? Or nails trimmed. How it started is I just would basically, I get my Dremel and I would try to get 1 nail done or 2 nails done, having something for them to be up on, like a branch or something where you can kind of be at eye level, because they aren't going to want to be restrained or held. So I have all kinds of things where they can climb, and then their feet will kind of hang down, and you can just be talking to them and just see if you can get a couple done. And the first few times I did their nails, even with Jack as a baby, it took 3-4 days to get all the nails done, but I just wanted it to be I didn't want it to be stressful. And now it's kind of to the point where when I do their nails, we can just kind of get it done. And using a towel works too. Like if this was a towel, kind of wrapping it around them and kind of doing like the toga move. He even knows to get his arm out there like that. And you can kind of hold it.
He's getting his nails did.
Yeah. It's a Saturday night. But that's getting there with them is huge. And I mean, they're going to protest a little bit, but once you
protesting.
I know, but this is like a year's worth of handling.
He's used to it. I'll play with you. I'm teasing.
But that's something to kind of take your. I mean, too many people they stop when the animal shows that it doesn't want you to do that. And there's 2 reasons. If it's hurting the animal, absolutely stop. If it doesn't want you to do that because it either doesn't quite trust you yet, or it's unsure, that's just something to work on. Like tree monitors typically don't like their head touched or their tail touched. That was the first thing I worked on. Let's get this guy not sensitive to things that could be a problem. If you're
that's what I was telling
showing him and you bump the tail,
touch him all in the face as much as you can.
You have to. It's just and gradual, but it's just so many people stop because they don't want to offend their animal. And like, you're just, it's kind of like a dog that doesn't like to be pet on the back.
I will say mine, I did that with mine, but it is still a monitor at the end of the day. And if you go up to it on its bad day and you touch it on the head, it might not like it. It might freaking out. It might be like, get away from me. But that is honestly, it's like a cat. It's like a scaly cat in the sense that if usually it wants to be petted and played with, but there are them days, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of how I wake her up in the mornings. I'll kind of open her door slowly, and you'll see that little eye kind of poke up, and I'll just pet her on the back of the head for a minute, and then she'll lift up and kind of wake up.
That's why I told Justin, I was like, put it in the living room, because he had it in his bedroom. I was like, put it in the living room around your dogs and everything, movement. That way, that son of a gun is not scared of you.
I got a 30-year-old African. I got 30-year-old African gray and stuff. So I'm kind of
nice.
I'm hoping that I could keep her off of the live food, keep her, and then she won't kind of associate my birds as food, is what I'm trying to kind of get that association right there. And then she sees them all the time right there in front of her enclosure all day long.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, hey, this gang's just hanging out right there on the branch. Hopefully,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to associate it a lot with all the animals. I'm going to try to give it a try. If I see something, obviously I'm not going to risk it. I ain't that dumb, but but she's a sweetheart. It kind of trips me out how sweet, because I actually tried to give her, the guy I got her from was like, look, I give her frozen thawed pinkies. I was like, all right, cool. Well, I breed ASF, so I have live pinkies. I put a live in there, and as soon as she realized it was alive, she wanted nothing to do with it.
Oh, crazy.
She spit it right out. And I was like, okay, so you don't like live stuff? That's cool. Then I'll give you all,
See, that's the complete opposite of my lizard. If I was to throw a live something, anything in there, it is on it, bro. It is on it like white on rice. Yeah. There is no debate what's happening right now.
Yeah. No, I think we'd unlock some DNA on these guys too if they were a little
I mean,
for sure.
Yeah. The only thing she went for is the crickets, and really the crickets, it wasn't even that many of crickets. She's like, she had a handful, and she's like, all right, I'm over these things. And when she's biting them, their legs are on her face, and she's all like this, trying to get them up. And it's like, okay, you're a little princess is what you seem like,
Right. Yeah. No, that's cool. And they're also different. That's what's cool about monitors, and honestly, any reptile, but when you've got this much personality, I mean, they're all so different. I mean, they're just like, I've got one tree monitor that doesn't want anything to do with insects, and one that's all he wants. And I'm like, it's just crazy. But
that's wild.
Crazy. It really is. But it is just like cats. That's another cat comparison, right? Yeah, it's weird.
Right.
It's like I made a video like of me and my lizard. Like, look at me and my dog. This is what me and my dog do, and it was my monitor. Because they are like that kind of companion of an animal, like a cat or a dog,
For sure. Yeah.
And they seek you out. Really awesome. But they are high maintenance too at the same time. I mean, it's a constant. I have to change that water out almost twice a day.
Come on.
Yeah.
And it's like, you got to be on it, because if you're not, it's going to smell like raw sewage out there. Because mine primarily eats like, fish. I do feed it chicken, but I don't really like to. I don't know. I do feed it like the chicken livers and gizzards and stuff like that, but I don't know. I just feel like feeding it the raw white meat is just something weird to me.
Sure.
But so I'll feed it like, what was it? I fed it some turkey the other day, but it's like you said, it's all in moderation, I mean, it's like I don't want to pump it with rats. I mean, like you said, most people, they're like, feed it nothing but rats, feed it nothing but rats, feed it nothing. And I'm like, dude, feed it. I think that's a misconception or maybe it's not a misconception. Maybe it's just, they need to specify that, yes, you can feed it rats. Yes, you can, but you have to have variety. It's not like a snake where you can feed it rats its whole entire life, which I don't advise that either. I don't advise that with snakes. If you have an option to feed it a gerbil like a frozen thawed gerbil every once in a while, or a quail or something. My ball pythons have ate chickens before.
Sure.
Because it's like, why not? I wouldn't want to eat nothing but a rat every day.
Yeah. No, it's great. It's great having these around, because I've got a bunch of emerald tree boas and nighttime stuff that I have to feed, and nothing goes to waste. Even if they're asleep, I'll just kind of open the cage and go like this, and they'll just wham, whether it's a ice cold chick or whatever it is, they don't care.
They go crazy for like rodents though.
What's that?
Like, I noticed any big lizard I've had the tegu, the monitor, and it's like they love the rodent.
Oh. Yeah.
Like, if you got a frozen thawed rodent or a pre-killed rodent and you're sitting there, it don't even take 2 seconds, dude. And it's like the Terminator. They just lock into that thing, and they're just
Yeah.
on it. But you put some raw chicken in there, and it's like, come on, man, eat this, please. Come on. It's like they don't want that crap.
Yeah. The only raw chicken that I use, other than like a full baby chick or something like that, would be I do drumsticks, the chicken drummies, but once a week for the bigger one, and that's
for
just
the calcium.
And it's I put I put all kinds of vitamins on it, and that type of thing. But it's kind of, that's also a once a week kind of.
See, Justin, we're gonna look, Nick. You're gonna have to send me and Justin like a care sheet, bro.
Oh.
Okay.
Like feeding, like what were like a routine. I just want to be on point. Like when I went to my vet was like, look, because he's an old guy, he's been dealing with like crazy exotics his life, and he's like, look, with the calcium powder, he's like, I've watched a lot of these monitors. He's like, I actually studied, and that one guy that he studied with wrote a book on monitors, and he's like, with the calcium powder, he's like, you can give him a whole gram of calcium powder. He's like, and I could literally pour this whole gram in her mouth. He's like, and only what she's gonna take in is only 200 milligrams out of that whole gram.
Sure.
And he's like, I would rather you go home and give her something more natural of calcium that in her diet regularly than using that powder. He's like, because you're probably going to fail using any of that powder. And I was like, really?
I've never given my monitor calcium. I've given it the supplements when it was inside, but since I put it outside, I just give it the variety of food, and it gets vitamins from the certain seafood that it eats, or fish or shrimp or whatever with the shells on it. Like I'll give mine whole shrimp with the heads, and they'll rip the heads, and you can see all that gooey vitamin brain juice. But I'm curious, what is the vitamin supplement you use?
It's just Reptivite. It's just I have to everything here gets vitamins twice a month, and it's just a easy little thing, just to do it. They'll eat it. I just got to check on this guy. He's on the move. But
dude, look at his room, dude. It's like the Austin Powers version of a room if he had reptiles.
Appreciate that.
Jag me, baby.
And he's got the wireless mic. I love it. Come on.
Yeah. I'm digging the couch.
Now, have you ever had to do any parasite cleanse for them at all? Have you ever been like, damn, I got to do some dewormer for them?
I really haven't, because my stuff is all captive bred, so it's really not a problem there. But I haven't really noticed anything. Okay, there you are. I just got to check where he is. He's exactly where he was before, where I told you where they go and kind of bury themselves behind the bar with all my building supplies. That's exactly where he went.
Bar, sip and show. It looked.
That's what I was kind of curious, because I was looking at like you don't want to use from what I was seeing, like one guy's like, look, don't go to pet store and buy guppies because they can have parasites. So you never know what a pet store is having. And I was like, oh wow, so I definitely do got to worry about this with her,
Yeah.
So, and that's why the silver sides I got are actually like from a farm and parasite free, frozen. This, and I was like, okay, cool. I don't have to worry about it with these at least,
Yeah. They have to eat so much that I just think the bulk of the diet, for mine is they love quail. So it's quail, the chicken drummies once a week for the bigger one, rats of all sizes, and then every once in a while, probably twice a month, maybe some salmon. And I just think, to take a chance with something that is just not going to be a big bulk of it. Like you said, they'll eat a goldfish, but now you might have a problem. It's just not going to be worth that risk.
Right.
So I just, I stick with kind of those kind of benchmark foods. And then, they'll eat dog food too. If you got soft dog food, that's hilarious.
Well, honestly,
they'll eat soft dog food.
I got my Tengu, dude, honest to God. And speaking of dog food, and it wouldn't eat. Like, it would not eat, dude. And that was my last resort, was dog food. And that son of a gun ate the crap out of that dog food, dude.
Nice.
But I tell you what, you talk about some nasty poo-poo. But you was talking about the 90s, right? Let's talk about this. Let's take a blast from the past, bro. All right, speaking of dog food, do you know what vegetarian animal lizard that they used to tell you to feed dog food to in the 90s?
Well, iguanas.
Iguanas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. 'Cause
Because I
that was my very
remember.
first. That was my very first animal.
Yeah, me
Yep.
too. Well, my dad had it when I was growing up, and then I had a gecko that was mine, a leopard gecko. But I was like 5. But yeah, our iguana was like every bit of 6 foot long, bro. It lived outside when it got that big, and yeah, it was awesome. But I remember that they had they had dog food at the pet store it was dog food, but it had a label on it, had an iguana on it, and you literally would open it, and it would look like dog food because it was dog food.
Yeah,
It was
That's wild.
but we never. My dad always just gave it, whatever the produce that we didn't eat that week would always go. It was like every day, like, oh, this salad bag's bad. We're just going to give it to them. And I mean, it was the 90s, you just did whatever. But they told you to feed it a lot of insects too. Like they said it needed a high protein diet, but
monkey chow was like back then was like 50% of their diet, depending on who you were talking to. No internet, so you'd go down. You'd buy your animal.
You talking about it was like the stuff that was like hard, like kibble,
like a biscuit. Yeah. Monkey, you'd soak monkey chow, and those things would eat the heck out of it. But again, that's kind of like dog food, So I ended up making my own iguana food. I just kind of remember this, and just because I would just kind of get all kinds of greens. I would throw a couple monkey chow biscuits in there because that's
sure,
or whatever.
That's what they told you to do back then too.
Exactly.
Sure.
Yeah. Research was basically, read a book if you got one, or as you're paying for it, the person checking you out is like, this is feed them this, feed them that. Imagine not having, and that was the 90s. Like there was none of this. This is
I
amazing.
had a heat rock, play sand, and a turtle shell with a antler in it, and a 10-gallon cage aquarium for a leopard gecko. And that thing outlived my stay at my parents' house, at my mama's house. Like I got it when I was like 4, and it lived and it ate crickets its whole life. And we bred crickets, and we had the potatoes. That's my grandma bred the crickets, and she was like, that's all they ate were potatoes. I mean, it was different times, people. The heat rock would get me crucified these days.
Oh, right now it would, yeah. Now.
But in all honesty, I think that the problem wasn't the heat rock itself. I think that there was no regulation on it.
Sure.
Because we still use belly heat, bro. It's just regulated. And most people don't even regulate it. They'll buy a freaking. What's the difference between buying a Zoom Ed heat pad from PetSmart and then putting it under a ball python cage with no thermostat and then a heat rock? What's the difference?
Yeah.
There is no difference.
No.
It is what it is. But in people's mind, they've made it different because, research has said. So I don't think there's really anything wrong with that. I mean, if you fed people that fed their iguana dog food back then, them iguanas lived for years, dude, like 20 years.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah. I rescued this iguana. He was there was an ad in the paper, and I got a 55-gallon aquarium with him, and I got this iguana from our local college. And apparently they would feed this guy beer, and his elbows were just like bowling balls. I had metabolic bone disease like crazy, so so I got him healthier, and then we ended up doing all kinds of reptile shows, and we went to all the schools, and he was on TV. I mean, it was but this thing was like
it's good that you was able to get it, and show people to try to learn from it,
Yeah, it was quite a time.
That is awesome.
Hey, he was a party animal, man. I mean, what can you say?
Oh, he was, yeah. Absolutely.
You can either say he had a good life or he had a bad life, but regardless, he got drunk.
Yeah, and we had him for quite a while, and it was great, and the kids loved him, and he ended up filling out. Obviously, had metabolic bone disease like crazy, but I didn't know what that was at the time, so there's not much you could do about it once it was kind of set in, but it was but yeah. So I actually I tore the closet doors off my closet and turned my whole closet into an enclosure with a basking light and a thing. No front on the thing. You just had to run in my room.
You'd be surprised. My mom had a dog bed on the ground. She literally had a dog. It's like a big dog bed on the ground, and she hung the lamp from the ceiling, hovering over the dog bed, like from a certain distance. And like, you know, we didn't catch it ever on fire, but that's where our iguana would go. But it spent most of its time because we had a screened porch and it just roamed around our house. We had hard tile floor and shit like that, so she'd wipe up its poop. But
let's give it up to the parent. You know,
yeah, mom was known as the parrot lady in the neighborhood. She had all these macaws and African gray. It was ridiculous, you know.
Let's give it up to the parents that had these animals back then when they were raising us, and they like my dad. I think I got my love like you probably did, Justin, for birds and having cool enclosures and stuff from your mom, like I did for my dad. You know, he let his iguana like your mom just roam the apartment, and then he always had a big enclosure for it if he had to. You know, it was like
I'd piss all my friends off with it because it'd get in my window seal and kind of sit there in the window seal. And when you walked in my bedroom door, you had to pass that window seal. So I'd walk in and he wouldn't whack me, but if my friends were right behind me, whack. You know, my buddy'd like, "Some bitch, every time Marley gets me," and I'm like, "Yeah, I know."
Did your Nick? Did your parents? What did they think about reptiles? Were they into it, or how did you get into it? Like, how did you even?
I got into it kind of late, kind of prior to, you know, just prior to kind of moving out. So they kind of let me do whatever I wanted to do when it came to that. Yeah, so that's, yeah, it was, you know, it was kind of just a short stint. And then I moved in with my current wife. This was 30 years ago.
Shout out.
Shout out. Yeah. I still refer to her as my first wife because she is.
Hey, well, 30 years, dude. You got to shout out 30 years, bro.
So April 20th is our 30-year anniversary, and it's
let's go
Hitler's birthday. It's Columbine, the anniversary of Columbine, and it's 420. So, you know, I mean,
well, you got the 420. You got the 420 going for you, bro. Okay. At least that, you know.
Yeah.
Good grief.
But we ended up getting a 2-bedroom apartment, and then the master bedroom was turned into a reptile collection. So yeah, we just kind of so she's amazing.
You knew she was a keeper.
Dedicated
the master.
Yeah, so you dedicated the master. You're like, you know what? We're gonna get the little room. Yeah, get the big room. That's cool.
It's room for so many activities now. You know, I mean.
That's awesome. So are you known? I'm known in my family as the reptile guy. Is that you, or are there other people in your family that dig the reptiles and keep too?
No, just me. I'm just kind of a lone wolf when it comes to this.
Yeah. You're not a lone wolf. We're here together to help.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Yeah, right? Fight the boys. Exactly.
Yeah, my family, like I said, my dad did it, but my mom, she's not into the snakes and all that. Like, she won't even sleep in my house. She's like, the reason why I don't visit you in Alabama, she's in Georgia. That's where I'm from. She's like, I don't visit you that much because I ain't getting a hotel. I'm like, Mom, you can sleep here. I was like, you can sleep in my bedroom if you want. She's like, your room's right next to 40-something, 50, 60 snakes. I ain't going in that house. I'm like, dang, and my dad won't come in the house because I breed rodents out back, and he's terrified of rodents, dude. He's petrified of rats, and he just won't do it.
That's crazy.
It's pretty crazy.
So what was your most challenging, Nick, out of all these monitors? Like, what was your most, like, you're like, all right, this is going to give me a run for my money. I'm gonna
current new guy on the block. Yeah. You know, I've had Nile monitors in the past. I mean, keep in mind, like in the 90s, captive bred was like you had dogs and cats, and everything else was wild caught, right? So I mean, I had adult Asian water monitors, 14-foot retics. I mean, I had, you know, Nile monitors.
Wild caught?
Oh, yeah, just crazy.
Oh my God.
And you know, so I learned right away. My big thing is, you know, I love them all, and I love to connect. I love to find a way to connect with them. Like if I can find a way to be a positive part of this animal's life, because just keeping them in a box doesn't do it for me. I love the way they look, but I gotta touch things. I gotta be physical, you know, in there with them, and I love the challenge. And so I've kept all that. So I've kind of learned a little bit about their behavior, their language. And also kind of like what barriers you kind of have to blow through, and you kind of got to take a little bit of a leap of faith in order to kind of give them the opportunity to trust you, you know, because a lot of people it just takes so much time, and they're just, I've told so many people this, they have no incentive to trust you. None. They're not
Not a
going to sit there and
wild
go, you know
caught
what, today
animal
I'm going
for
to take a
sure.
risk. You know, what's that?
Not a wild caught animal, 100, and an
Yeah,
adult
no,
wild caught? Hell no.
no. You know,
No.
anything really, you think about it, their DNA is to survive. So if something is slightly nervous, scary, as long as they don't have to like, they're, you know, the only time that they would take that risk is like if you have food. And you know, then they'll take that risk of like grabbing the food, and you know, and that's kind of a success.
Shying
But
away.
yeah, but so you really have to kind of make that opportunity to work with them, and that's why I'm a big fan of taking an animal that's scared in an enclosure, taking them out, whatever that means, safely, as quickly, as trauma low as possible, and then working with that animal. It's so much easier to build trust out of an enclosure than it is in an enclosure, and there's so many different strategies, and then
That's
you
why I
can.
was telling Justin what we did is not to cut you off, but speaking of
No, no,
that,
no.
the environment thing, excuse me, we put ours in the bathroom and we
Yeah.
would fill the tub up, you know, with a little bit of warm water, and we put it in the tub, and it was a confined area, but it was still outside of its enclosure, right? So it was like, and it had to crawl on you in order to move anywhere. You made it to where it had to touch you in a way, you know, like, and that worked for me, you know, like just letting it crawl out of the tub onto our lap and not even moving, not even touching it, just getting it used to we're not a threat is
Right.
that helped me out a lot, being in that somewhat confined area where I can close the door. There's no dogs around. There's no other animal smells or anything. It's just a bathroom, you know?
Cool. Yeah. And that's one of the steps that I take. And that's, you know, again, it's an area for you to, you know, put that animal, you know, obviously you want to try to be as low as possible, but you can interact with that animal without having to kind of constantly reach for it. You can sit there calmly.
Yep.
They can kind of just occupy the same space, be in the same space
Exactly.
with them, and let them kind of prove to them that, you know, you're cool. Like you're not here to threaten them. And you know, so yeah, so back to the most challenging one that I've had, a croc monitor. And that's,
Okay.
you know, so we just got one last week. Maybe it's been a little over a week ago. Like a yearling, kind of a captive farm. But yeah, so that's what their jaw looks like. And yeah, so that's what we're working with here today. And I did have one on day one. I mean, I kind of have my method. I kind of wanted to see, I wanted to look him over really good. So I plopped him in the tub and sat on the floor, and I mean, I was, you know, he was huffing and puffing and all the stuff, and you know, and I knew to be careful with them.
I
And
do
then,
the whole movement where it's like, you know what I mean, when their body's
yeah,
like this and
oh
that
yeah,
tail is going, and you
yeah.
just
Yeah, and croc monitors will charge you. That's the one thing that kind of, you know, is a little different than some of the other monitors. These guys will,
Oh
especially the
shit.
males, they will run up on you. I mean, they will just, I mean, so yeah, so I'm just like, okay, that's a new
A little
play.
intimidating. Yeah, a
Yeah,
little intimidating.
yeah. So this guy, so he was kind of chilling up, but he also, you know, kind of maybe the shock of still shipping and that type of thing. And I was able to
how
kind of
big? I don't mean how big is it?
he's about 4 feet, so he's not
Okay,
small,
big
you know,
enough,
but
big
yeah, big
enough.
enough. And yeah, and so then, you know, so I was doing my thing. I was on the floor, my arm in the tub next to him, doing my, you know, and he was like, you know, and he kind of was licking the top of my hand, and he did the monitor kind of exploratory thing, kind of like, and I had just gotten done giving him some food. So I was kind of feeding him in the tub and just kind of making sure his belly was good, you know, tons of warmth. He was filling his belly, kind of like just, you know, teeing him up, right? And so then he was kind of looking at the back of my hand, and he had already kind of refused a mouse. So I'm like, okay, he's probably full. And he did that monitor thing where they kind of lick really fast, and then started to slowly open his mouth. I mean,
Yeah.
if you got anything on your hands, this is what monitors. So I just kind of backed my hand away. I thought, okay, it wasn't aggressive, and he didn't bite me.
Right.
And then he came over my arm and started climbing up my arm, and I'm sitting on the bathroom floor, and before you know it, they're on your hand, and then they're here. And so he was like kind of on the back of my arm. And I'm like, okay, what's going on? And then he started lick the back of my tricep. And the next thing I know, he gently bites the back of my arm and
Woo.
and did not let go. And I'm like, okay. So I was just still sitting there kind of calmly. And I'm going, okay. And then he started to tug. And then I could feel not only what you're seeing there is the lower jaw, I could feel that cutting and I could feel that ripping, and then I could actually feel the blood hitting the ground, and he didn't want to let go. So then I just kind of thought, well, I can't really grab him. I can't really get to him, and that could cause more damage. So I just reached over and just kind of tapped him on the head really gently and just said, "Hey, buddy," and he let go. And it's like, okay. And I'm like, and then I'm just like, covered in blood. This is the shirt I was wearing.
Yeah.
It looks like the zombie apocalypse.
This has been through the wash. So yeah, so this is my shirt. Yeah. So so I instantly, wrapped it around my, my arm, and I thought, okay, now I'm blood everywhere. I'm like, well, that was going really well, and now we're here. But the nice thing is during that whole experience, I didn't spook him. I didn't, anything like that. And I've modified.
That takes a lot of masculinity and conad not to move when that thing ripped down on your flesh like that. Because I know that did not feel good.
No, it felt terrible. And what I can tell you is what I think it's really important that anytime you do anything that has inherent risks, whether motorcycle racing or whatever, crossing the street, you're kind of signing on for like, this could happen. And I'm kind of one of these guys that likes to think about, okay, what if, and then what if, then what do I do? So I'm kind of always not looking forward to it, but I'm prepared. So I kind of have a little bit of a plan, and that allows me to, at least be able to kind of pivot in that moment, not be shocked that it happened. So that's, I kind of signed on to that. I mean, I was glad it wasn't my hand, I guess, but
I was gonna say too, because you said it did the deal on your hand. If it would have bit your hand, that could have been tragic.
Yeah, and even with him being a yearling, I mean, the teeth.
Did you have to go get stitches at all?
I probably should have, but I didn't. I'm kind of a good healer. It's looking pretty good.
Terminator. It looks like it would look like a cool tattoo.
That's what my wife keeps saying. So
just shred, peel the scab, and put some tattoo ink in it.
Yeah.
And so, everybody, if you didn't know, real quick, down there, that comment, follow her on Instagram. She's in the running for Teacher of the Year, America's favorite Teacher of the Year. And she breeds snakes in her class and all that cool stuff. And if she wins, she gets Bill Nye the Science Guy to come to her school.
Oh, sweet.
And she gets all kind of other cool stuff, like a part in a magazine, a Teacher's Digest magazine or something. But yeah, there's the link right there. Actually, you can click that from the comments and go vote.
Come on.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I think she's currently second for her group.
Oops. That's awesome. I'm just going to grab this guy down quick.
Yeah, but his tree monitors, dude, are dope. His snakes are dope.
You got some enclosures up pretty high, too. That's pretty cool.
Well, he's got all this stuff up there they climb on.
Oh shit! Okay.
Yeah, there's all kinds of vines and stuff up there, and
bro, I'm telling you, bro, it's like the Narnia down there for lizards, dude.
I just wanted to check out. This guy will find a place to sleep for the night, but yeah,
this so beautiful. I gotta blow that up real quick. That is so beautiful. That's what made me want to get tree monitors right there.
Jesus, look at that.
How old is that monitor?
Let's see. It was this August. It will be 2 years old. The blue ones get fairly big. My green one is probably 2/3 the size, and he's probably 3 years old.
Oh, really?
That's the biggest tree monitor. I was going to say that. I was like, I've never known him to get that kind of. The other ones I've seen have been real tiny,
Yeah.
So what about the black tree monitors? Are they big?
I've heard they're smaller. I don't have a black one.
Tiny,
But I've heard that they're smaller, and I've also heard that they're one of the nicer ones to work with, like out of the box. Like their temperament.
Really?
The blues, yeah. So I mean, but it kind of depends on who you listen to. I mean,
so what's an enclosure size for something like that if you're keeping it inside? I mean, what do you suggest?
Yeah, when they get this big, where they're pushing 3.5, 3 feet long. I mean, a 4x4 by 2, I think, is kind of minimum. Especially if they're comfortable with you, and they're going to use the whole enclosure and that type of thing, and you're not working on something where you need a little more of a confined space. But yeah, so that's where those, again, like I'll take 2 4x4 by 2s and then put them front to back. So now it's a 4x4 cube, and that's a really nice size. You can put.
So what do you think too big?
What? Well, I mean,
I mean, I know that's a hard question, you know, but I mean, I'm saying like, for it not to be freaked out or, you know, feel comfortable.
Yeah. Well, I think for most people too, like trying to heat something that's
huge.
You know, I mean, if it's an 8x8x8, I mean, good luck, right? I mean, obviously it's going to have a hot spot, and then everything else is going to be whatever the room temperature.
It'll be whatever. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So you don't really. I mean, again, like if you're going to just have these guys on display, throw the world at them, right? I mean, but if you want to interact with them, I think that size is perfect, you know, and that's
gotcha.
Now, is there a certain like humidity level you got to hold with them guys, or what? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like most anything else in the more. Yeah, they like a little bit more. They like because they don't spend time in the water. But he does soak every morning. He's also kind of potty trained. That works because these guys will not go to the bathroom in their water unless their water happens to be directly below them. It's like having a bird, like they just kind of go. And then when they go to the bathroom,
my African Gray's potty trained. He will not poop on the furniture or anything. He'll wait and hold it until I go to the perch, and then. Of course, I put him on the perch. You can tell he's like, God, Dad, I've been waiting for this shit.
It's got some power behind it.
Those lizards just poop where, like, just up in the tree, wherever or whatever.
Yeah, it'll usually just hang off the branch and down it goes, and that's why I keep all of mine. And they don't do it maybe 3 times a day, you know. So it's not a lot. And everything I keep with the tree monitors is bioactive. So if I can't get to it and clean it up. I mean, I got a crew that comes out of the woodwork and just destroys that stuff. So,
well, you know, I got to ask, what's the diet on that? Is it the same as the Asians?
No, it's it has to be a little bit leaner. So they get rats or like rat pups about once a week, and they love them. But then like quail, like he just had 2 little quail today, and it's about every other day. And so quail, eggs, and then rat pups makes up the bulk of his diet because he's just not into insects. I'll give him crickets every once in a while, and I'll put him in a little jar, and he'll pick a few of them out. But I mean,
and see, that's why I ask, because I've heard a lot of people say that the insects is big with tree monitors. You know, like grasshoppers and different things. You know, that's why I was wondering.
Yeah, if you can get him to eat that, that's great. And then one thing I'll do too is sometimes he doesn't like roaches, but what I can do is dip a roach in like a raw egg. And they'll eat anything if you dip it in a raw egg. So some of that stuff is, I mean, they just kind of prefer, and they also kind of know, like, if I skip this meal, you'll come back with something I like.
Exactly. Yeah, you're gonna make sure it eats. It's not.
I'm a good dad, man. I'm a good dad.
It's cool having these lizards that are like. It's like I was telling Justin. It's like something that. It's like, okay, I have a Dutch Shepherd, right?
Yeah.
If you have a lab, well, I mean, I guess a French bulldog, right? A French bulldog I have one of them too. It doesn't have to have any kind of stimulation, right?
Yeah.
Throughout the day. It's fine just chilling, sleeping, farting, and being lazy. But the Dutch Shepherd, you have to mentally stimulate it in some way. Like with big lizards like monitors, they have to have that mental stimulation because it's like a Dutch Shepherd, for instance, a monitor won't do it, but a Dutch Shepherd will sit there and chew its foot off if it sits in a cage too long or a kennel and it gets bored because it's just got so much energy and so much knowledge and smarts in its head that it's like, I'm not made for this. I'm made to run and hunt and chase people down. You know what I'm saying? And like a monitor, they're not used to just sitting in a cage and not having no interaction. Like if you get a monitor of any kind, you have to interact with it.
Yeah, like I think so. Yeah. And they they need that mental, and it's so easy to give them that mental stimulation too. Like one of the things I do with the tree monitors is I have these little masonry jars like that you get jelly in, and I put a little hook on them, and I'll put some eggs in there or something, and I'll go up to him and I'll let him smell it. And then I'll hide it in his cage, and he will tear that cage apart looking for that. And it's so fun. Or even like the little dog balls that are kind of like little waffles. Stick like a little chicken head in there. Oh my God. You want to see a monitors play with, and they'll eventually get it out, or eventually you kind of pop it out for them. But there's so many things you can do.
Super intelligent, man. It's
that's crazy. That's kind of cool, actually. I like that little dog ball, like the netting looking one.
Yeah, the heavy duty rubber one. Yeah, we'll stick like chicken heads in there, and they'll pick up the ball and throw them, and it's.
Man, I want to know. It's a good idea for a meal.
I want to know with the potty training, where do I kind of start? Like, where do I?
Yep.
How do I kind of start introducing this and going about this?
Yeah. So the first way that most of the Asian water monitors in the morning after they wake up, they come out of their den or whatever. Then they'll usually, find the heat source, and there you've got probably about an hour to 2 hour window as they heat up. The next thing they're going to do is go to the bathroom. So that's a great. I mean, that's your biggest window that you can rely on. If you just would. If you can kind of be home, and sometimes you have to, and I know not everybody can be home when they're doing
I actually
that.
work from home. I work from home.
I did it before I went to
Yep.
work, and I would fill the tub up with warm water, and it would make it poop every morning. Every morning, the Tegu would.
Yep.
It was awesome.
So with us, it's just a tub, and I've made a little thing that I can put little barriers in there. It's really easy. But so I just take them out and put them in the tub, and I turn the hot water or warm water, and I just would spray them and go to the bathroom. Or like with Jack, the black dragon, he's a little more shy or takes a little more time. So I just run some water, and he'll just be super quiet. And then I'll hear kind of a pop sound that usually when I go to the bathroom underwater, it's like a little sonic boom. But the cool thing about Jack is once he goes to the bathroom, then he'll usually scratch to get out. And that's so I know, and I'll go every time I go in there, I'm like, oh, so then, but yeah, finding that routine and getting that routine in the morning is going to be like the big thing, like when they wake up. So kind of right after the lights turn on, and that's, again, tree monitors are a little bit different. It seems like their metabolism is more kind of like more like noon is the first time that she really goes to the bathroom. So I'll let her, she's like my last one, or he's my last one that I'll pop in the tub and, just rinse them off. And yeah.
Jamie likes the idea of the size of the tree monitors and the way that they're set up. She wants one for her classroom, and actually he doesn't breed them. That's what's awesome about him. He just keeps these as pets, right? I mean, you don't breed them, but I'm sure you could point her in the direction to somebody who could definitely get her one.
Absolutely. Yeah. I've gotten to know a lot of the top breeders in the country, and they're all wonderful people. I mean, really, really, really. So Sundown and, Canadian Cold Blood. This one came from a guy named Parker out of Arizona, a young kid. I don't know if he's still breeding, but I think he was on a bunch of podcasts too. So
let's go.
Jamie, look him up on the IG and give him a follow. He's I've learned a lot by talking to Nick, like on the Instagram Messenger and stuff. Like, he's the reason why I'm getting the tub that I'm getting when I move and everything. Like, you don't understand, like when you get monitors, it's a whole nother realm of reptile keeping. And I'm saying it in the sense, you got to know how to do basic plumbing. You got to know how to do all this building, because once it gets so big, you're either going to have to build a cage for it, or you're going to have to spend a few grand at least on a big water monitor.
Know some framework, some plumbing work, so.
And with the water monitors, I mean, I have a lot of live plants in a lot of my enclosures down here.
They tear them up.
Oh my God, yeah, they will show you. I mean, you can make it pretty, fine, but make it sturdy because they will just. Yeah, I
built that cage outside. I had a freaking waterfall that I built in it with real rocks and concrete and everything. Like, it was luxurious. I had pothos everywhere, and the first thing it did was get up on that waterfall and take a dookie right on the waterfall and then tear up and it uprooted the plants. It didn't just tear them up; it uprooted them from the pots. And everything, like, it wasn't playing around, bro.
Yeah. Well, and that's what's cool about them too, is if you put anything new, I mean, if I come down with new shoes on or a hat, especially the tree monitors, they want to know exactly what that is. If we have people that are visiting and they've got bracelets, they're like parrots. They just want anything that's changed in their enclosure, they notice and they go check it all out. They lick. It's cool. Awesome. Yeah.
So I have a question.
Kind of what I do with the outside enclosures. I made it almost replica to her inside enclosure with the water bowl, the ramps, and everything. So when she went out there, she's like, "Okay, this looks kind of familiar, but this is a little different, But it was really cool.
I have a question I want to debunk. I want to debunk this question for Justin. He heard this, and there's a lot of monitor do's and don'ts out there, right? What do you? This is a funny one. I've I feel like I've heard it, but I didn't know that it was a thing, right? I thought it was a joke. Like silver tongs, like stainless steel tongs.
yeah.
Have you heard that people are like, don't use those because it'll see its reflection and it's bad for it. You don't use those, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, it'll scare it.
It could scare someone.
I think I can debunk that because every morning, one of the things we do after we go to the bathroom is we sit and we look at in the mirror. They want to look at themselves in the mirror in the bathroom, and I'll hold them right up to the mirror, and they'll lick the mirror, and
mine will look at its reflection in the water.
Yeah, I mean, so
Yeah,
and that's
cool.
pretty much
That's cool.
yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, I saw that. I was like, well, she don't like to eat off tongs, so maybe, you know. And I started googling some stuff and looking up, and then I seen it multiple times. Where like, we use dark tongs, we don't use the shiny tongs. And I was like, what? Can that really be a thing?
Yeah, I think that goes back to what I was saying before.
There's too many bougie monitor keepers in the world. Like, look, y'all, this is a monitor that can stand the test of time, bro. Like in the wild, these Asian water monitors are getting like tore up by cats and other possums or whatever's out there, you know. And it's like they're pretty hardy, bro. So like, I'm sure a little silver stainless steel tong is the least of your worries, you know.
And I'm sure, like what was I saying before? Like maybe the flash, maybe it was sensitive, but again, it's not something that's going to hurt them. And if you want to have an animal that can get triggered super easy, then just avoid you know, changing that. But if not, like make that flash thing desensitized.
Well, mine don't like a camera. If I have my phone out, it's fine. It's fine, bro. If I just have my phone pointed at it, but as soon as I hit video and record, it changes. The lizard completely changes and it turns away.
Yeah.
And it wants to get away from you. It'll stop eating. Like I try to film it. They're like, why don't you have more videos of your lizard eating? And I do, but it's rare that I get them because usually as soon as I point the camera at it, I'm feeding it off tongs. And it'll literally just turn its head and not be interested until, and as soon as I hit stop record, it'll go right for it. It is wild, dude. It is the craziest thing. And I've heard Kevin McCurley say that they don't like, Justin said, they don't like the infrared. Have you had that happen before with any of your lizards?
I mean, I think I've always attributed it to it. It definitely, that makes a whole lot of sense, but I've always attributed it to like, you know, these look like a bunch of eyes. So like monitors, you know, I think Asian water monitors would probably be on the lower end of the scale, but tree monitors and then croc monitors, which are big tree monitors, eye contact is something you really have to manage because if I stare at them, they will freak out. Like especially if you know, and I'm really cautious when I'm working with a new animal that I'm always looking away. I'm always blinking. You know, if I was a predator, I would never look away. I would be locked on to the target. So just by looking down and I'm like, hey, how you doing, buddy? And all like that shows them right now that this guy is not, you know, he's not a predator.
You know, parrots are the same way. If you sit there and stare your parrot down, you could actually cause some problems right there by doing that.
Hey, you looking at me, punk? You looking at me?
My African gray would, if I stared at him and sat across the room and just looked at him right in dead in the eyes, and I walk up to him, he's gonna bite the shit out of me. He's gonna be like, "Oh, what you looking at me like that for?" You know,
that's intimidation. You know, so that's when I work with these guys. No matter what, I mean, primarily the lizards, I think, but you know, snakes as well. I always think about what am I doing that could be interpreted as predatory. You know how much of a bubba I am. You know how quickly I move. So you got to stick your hand in there, and I think the pace that you do, like you got to anticipate that they might flinch, but you just kind of get it in there at a speed that they can see
hesitate.
At a speed that they can see it. And by the time it's touching them, it's already everything's safe, right? But if I spend too much time, that can be like stalking. Or
and don't ever jerk back, you know, because that's the worst thing you can do. If it flinches, the worst thing you can do is jerk back, dude.
Yeah.
I just reached in there, and half the time when, like I said, I open the door, she comes running up to me. She's like, "What's up?" You know,
yours was like mine. We got lucky for the most part. Like mine was like that. It never flinched. Really, it was already pretty much desensitized.
Now my peep bro was a psycho. Like that piece, bro, was like you go to get close to that cage or put your hand in there, he'll run around and then he'll run around, and then after he's done running around, he's like, "All right, I'm not scared no more. I'm coming after your ass." And he'd look at you and bow at you and stuff. And you're like, all right, bro, well, walk back up a little bit, you know. He was a crazy thing. He was for sure wild.
Yeah.
Speaking of snakes, if y'all have a big snake collection and y'all sell snakes, I got to give a shout out to one of the sponsors real quick. Try Reptile Ads. Just try it out.
ReptileAds.com is the modern marketplace for buying and selling reptiles, amphibians, and exotic pets. Built by Purple Turtle Technologies, we're creating the most trusted platform in the industry. Join thousands of breeders and collectors on the most trusted reptile marketplace. List your animals, connect with buyers, and grow your business with Reptile Ads. Enjoy our easy access to stores as well as a genetic calculator for your convenience. Stop by and check us out today.
Oh yeah, everybody go do that. I think they made it free until October.
Yeah.
Is that what I've seen? So you you have a long time, man. Go make a profile, and it's getting warmer out, everybody. You know what that means? Springtime's coming, or it's here, I guess. Now we're in springtime.
His eggs are dropping. I know I'm waiting on clutches.
So we were actually talking about it earlier about plants, right? So I got to give a shout out to Kiko, man. I got to. If y'all want some carnivorous plants or any kind of cool tropical plants that's hard to find, he ships everywhere in the U.S. and Hawaii. So let's go for Kiko.
Beasts, Brews, and Botany is the most unique reptile show in Northern Virginia and maybe in the country. It's at Eavesdrop Brewery that has delicious alcoholic beverages and a wonderful array of food in the area as well. Courtyards to chill in. It's dog friendly. It's kid friendly. You can bring the whole entire family out. You can get all your plants, arachnids, reptiles. You could get dart frogs, vampire crabs, and take photos with reptiles as well. The first Sunday of each month at Eavesdrop Brewery is Beasts and Brews, so the reptile show. And the second Sunday of every month is Brews and Botany at Eavesdrop Brewery. Now, this event is held by my good friend Kiko, and he actually has a variety of carnivorous plants as well. He ships said carnivorous plants anywhere in the United States, including Alaska and Hawaii. So that's Venus flytraps, sundews, any carnivorous plant you could want. Go give him a follow at Flora Esoterica on Instagram and Facebook. And definitely, if you're in Northern Virginia, you need to check out Beasts, Brews, and Botany. You will not be disappointed.
Oh my goodness. I gotta blow you up immediately.
Is that the one? Is that the one in question?
This is the one in question.
Yep.
Oh, you brat.
That is gorgeous.
Yeah,
that is gorgeous.
He's a good looking dude.
He looks like he wants more.
Like you even said earlier that they spend their time in the trees, and like when I hear croc monitor, the first thing I think is it's going to spend most of its time in the water.
No, it's tree. They're a giant tree monitor. That's what they are. They're just a giant tree monitor.
And I guess they're getting the croc name for the teeth.
Yeah, that, and also apparently the locals call them that because they'll actually, when there's a crocodile in the area, these guys will actually be very, very restless up in the trees. So the natives will actually notice the croc monitors up in the trees making a lot of rustle when there's a crocodile close.
So they're warned. No, they're pretty much
they're kind of warned, but they just so happen to have worse teeth than a crocodile. They actually have iron on their teeth. I don't know if you know that their body actually puts down a layer of iron on the sharp edge. So when you get cut by these guys, it's like getting cut by an actual knife.
Nice.
What?
Yeah, Google it. Google it, man.
That is wild.
I can tell you what it feels like to be cut with, 10 box cutters at the same time. It's
well,
not fun.
It looks like you were cut with a knife.
But he's
now,
so
did
cool
you already trim his nails or her nails? Is it her or he or she?
It's a boy. Yep.
It's a boy. Okay. That's cool.
You think that's why it may have been a little bit more, I don't want to say aggressive, but there's really no other way to say it.
Yeah, the males have got 10 times the testosterone, of the females, and they are a very, very testosterone rich animal. So that's something you're just working with, kind of like a bull, kind of like these other things that, maybe they're a little more placid. These guys are, if you're looking for a fight, they're gonna do it. So you would never be able to deal with this guy
Oh,
like you
look
would an
at him!
Asian
Yeah,
watermark. Yeah.
he's
You gotta be
puffing
ready.
up.
Gotta be
He's
ready.
mad right now.
Yep. So you got to be ready, and and you just got to kind of know what you're getting yourself into with these guys, and eventually, once he's doing great. Like this is day 5 of working with him.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is when I put up a video today of
That's
just
really
two. Yeah. We just started taking him out of the enclosure yesterday.
And he's
So
on
this is-
camera already, and he's acting
Yeah,
like
just
that
for
with
you
all
guys.
the
Just for
lights
you
and all
guys.
of the noise and
He's-
everything.
He's got to be, man. This is his life. If we shelter him from that, and he's showing me that he's okay with this. He's
Oh
crawling,
yeah,
but
I
he's gonna be a
mean
lot
that's what I tell people.
like-
If you have a monitor and it's not okay, regardless if it's a little blue or a croc monitor, it's gonna let you know it's not happy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it
You're a good
can
boy.
get away from
You're a
you if
good
it
boy.
wants
You're a
to.
good
Like
boy.
if it really
You're a good
wants to, it will get away from you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I mean they're so squirmy, and the way that they
Yeah.
move their body is like it's not
The
meant for a
camera.
human to contain it. That's wild looking, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Pretty sweet. Just a dream to work with this guy. So I have a ton of respect for what these guys obviously bring to the table. But even when they get to the point where you can, you built that trust, you still have to be super careful because they react to movement and
Movement,
sounds and like anything else. That's the tree monitor in them. That's that just like, they're crazy. They're never super chill. They have that eye like your parrot where that can just dilate and it can just focus in and just get.
Yeah,
they're
I've
a
heard
different
that.
animal.
I've heard with
Yeah.
the croc monitors and a lot of monitor species, if you watch for the pupil, you can
Yep.
kind of tell what it's fixing to do, and
Yep.
it's like a way of reading
Yep.
its movements.
And I'm not a
Yeah.
glove guy, but I don't want to get.
Oh, I don't
bit at this
blame
point.
you. I don't blame you at all.
Yeah.
Look, everybody. I mean, if you want to
Yeah.
talk shit about gloves, take one of these from one of those and
Yeah.
tell me you're not going to wear gloves. Okay,
Yeah,
go
but-
screw yourself.
Yeah, so that happened. I mean, that injury happened a handful of days ago. So I think that's
Look.
also part of it.
That's
Part of it,
Justin's old lady right there, and
Oh, yeah?
she's like, "We're getting one,
There
Justin."
you go.
No, hell no. That's
She's obsessed. Since we got our black dragon, she's been obsessed. She's been
that's
You're
a
a good
whole
boy. You're a
nother
good
round.
boy.
That is.
You're a
I
good
feel
boy.
like that animal is like if you're a fish guy and you get a great white shark, like, or
Yeah.
that's not like. I guess not really, because you would get a freaking Nile crocodile. But I'm saying, like, as far as monitors go, that is the
Right.
apex. That is the Mac Daddy. I feel like I would rather mess with a Komodo dragon than that.
Yeah, for sure. They're the most agile. I mean, they can climb through time. Tree monitors.
Well, they'll jump at you. Like
Oh,
you
dude,
said, they'll
yeah,
charge
yeah.
you. They'll jump
They
from
will.
a tree onto you
Yeah.
if they feel threatened.
Yeah. So it's all kind of about, handling them is just a trick too. You always got to get that backhand. This hand, you got to get that forward as quick as he releases it. You're never lazy with it. And that, especially with their neck, they can turn around and get you, at any time if they want
I'm
to. But right now he
surprised
doesn't
he's
want to.
being such a good boy.
He is a good boy, and I'll get him pets on camera so he.
Oh my God,
One of
sorry.
the things I let them do is I let them lick my face because I also see that as an opportunity. No. See, there we go, a little bite, but
Little
I let them
bite.
lick my face because that's a way for them to identify you. So that's one of the things we do with our monitors as well. I'm not going to do it right this second.
No. And
but
I
that's
will say, I want to point out that it did just bite your glove, but I want to let people know that's the benefit of using those gloves, because that lizard bit him, but he didn't react. And the fact that he didn't react showed that lizard that in the future, it's not going to try to bite him because it knows that it's not going to hurt him. And it's
We're
not
good.
going to, there's nothing to freak out about, because if he was a predator and that lizard bit him, he would kill that lizard. Right.
So
right.
So it's fun. This is so funny to me because like with parrots, we use those gloves, and when they're crazy, we have to go through a breaking, because they go through alpha phase, which we call it alpha phase. They go through a breaking point, and I have to use those gloves because if my parrot bites me and I let him know it hurt me and I scream or make any noise, he knows therefore he won and will do it every time for their honor.
Sure.
Yeah, they're
Sure.
super
I
smart.
have to use
dude.
the glove and look at them and be like, no, this is just blowing my mind, because everything you're saying is like, wow, it's kind of like I'm used to this shit, It's
It is
crazy.
like a bird, Justin. I'm telling you, like the way they eat is like a bird, like a pelican. I mean, everything about them lizards are like
blowing
birds.
my mind. It's blowing my mind.
Crazy.
Yeah. So it's just so this is the first week that we're working with this guy, and there you go. You got to let him know who's boss, or he's got to let me know who's boss.
I hear him huffing up and hissing at you.
I mean, he has a lot of lights. I'm on an iPad, so
no, that's what I'm saying. I'm surprised it's doing so good. It's seeing its reflection on the screen and everything, and not really freaking out that bad.
I did post a reel today, and that was from yesterday. So if you want to see what he is like with a little less stimulation, that's a really good sample. We were doing that all day today as well. There's just a lot going on in the room right now, but that's okay because this is a busy room, and I want him to be okay with that. And we'll make it a short session. I'm just going to pop him back in.
Yeah, no, I'm super proud to have had him on the Sippin' Show.
Yeah. So he's back in his
let's
enclosure.
check out. Let me blow you back up.
Gorgeous.
Look at that, dude.
So again, like this is typically would probably be too small of an enclosure for a croc monitor, but working with a young one, it's a perfect size because he can't, he's got all the things he needs, all the hides, all everything, and the water and the heat gradient, but he also, it's easy to access him. And for me to gain his trust, we have to work outside the enclosure. So that's just kind of,
come on.
Nice.
I love it.
I love that freaking room, man. Look, we're going on an hour and a half.
I got snakes.
I know. I think we're going to have a Lizard Lounge part 2 in the future with the snakes.
Anytime.
Dude. Yeah. Because I'm telling y'all, his snakes could go 2 hours talking about just the
before we end it too, I would love to have you on the RWO on Thursday. We have a full panel. You could come on there, show off some stuff, man. It would be really cool to just have you pop on Thursday. If you ever got some time on a Thursday?
I do.
You can see some snakes that we have. You get to see some of our other collection and meet some other guys and show off. I mean, I just, since I've gotten into monitors, I feel like I want to open people's minds of how like intelligent these animals are and how actually a cool pet these things could be if you have the time, because there's a lot of work into these animals, just like a parrot or anything else. Like you have to have the time and the knowledge to go with these animals. You can't just pop right into it.
No.
I'm sure there's some beginner monitors for people. I'm sure there's some beginner monitors for people.
Yeah, and I get tons of, whether it be on TikTok or here, I get tons of DMs, right, about certain questions, and I think that's kind of my MO, because I'm not selling anything. I'm not, so I did this first and foremost for me, and I think one of the strongest things you can do to either help justify what you're doing is help other people that are doing the same thing, or that maybe are, just getting into it. So every bit of information I have, I'm by far not an expert. This has just been my path. And I've had some successes, and I've obviously been bit. So, I mean, like, I'm a learner. So but I'm willing to, I'm an open book though, too. Like, I will share, because I just think, this is just, it can be such a rewarding, I know what it's done for me, just my own mental health, being able to create a space like this for my family. I mean, the Lizard Lounge crew is my whole family. It's my wife, my daughter, her fiance. It's amazing, and it's just a great place to hang. And
I know, I love watching your videos.
I gotta ask.
Yeah, it's awesome.
You say your daughter and her fiance. So do they have animals at their house too? Do they got a lot of monitors?
Yeah, not a lot, but they have a bearded dragon, and they've got a crested gecko. We did breed crested geckos because we put 2 of them together and they kept spitting out eggs. So then I took them apart. So yeah, so we actually bred crested geckos, and one of them was actually hatched on Father's Day of last year. So
that's
really rad.
Cute.
That's really rad. Yeah, I think I might have cried a little bit, but
that's cute.
It is cute.
That's always great. I have a good little girl that's 13, and it's like I can only hope that, when she gets older and she gets her own place, she's going to fall in love with the animals, just like I did watching my mom do them, growing up. So
absolutely.
They bring joy and tears to my
always in his videos down there in the Lizard Lounge, down there in that room, just chilling with something. It's usually a big lizard.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's awesome, dude. I think, and he's not wrong. He doesn't gatekeep anything. Like, he's not like, oh, I'm going to have the best enclosures and this and that. Like, no, I messaged him about something, and instantly he's like, yeah, let me find it. And he sent me the link to it, Yeah. And it's like,
I've been left on red so many times by, where it's just, and I just thought, okay, well, if that's, if that's how we're going to do it, then I'm going to find out the answer and I'm going to share it as much as I can, and
Yeah.
I think that's also like, there's your way and there's your way and there's my way, and they can all be right.
We
You know what
can
I mean? And
all
that's,
learn and
yeah,
work it
yeah,
into our own feng shui or
yeah,
whatever,
yeah,
like it
yeah,
doesn't have to be
Listen,
this or that, because
yeah,
we just explained earlier, a good example. Everybody thought heat rocks was the best thing, and then it took that person to change, hey, maybe this is better, or try this.
yeah,
I don't expect anybody to ever ask me something and do what I say. But when someone tells me something and I ask, I try to take something from it.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Something. Don't ever feel like it. I guess I'm saying don't ever feel like it's bad to ask questions, right?
No,
what
no.
is that,
And
what is
just,
that
yeah,
old saying? There's 1,000 ways to plumb a house, and they'll all be right.
Yeah, there's a
exactly.
million ways to skin a cat. You know what I'm saying?
You know, they can all
But
be
hell
right.
yeah! So I guess we got somebody coming in late. You're gonna have to catch the replay game because there's a Keys show on right now. Actually, I think, and I got to get over there and watch that. Was it
No,
Sophisticated
it's
Ignorance coming on?
it's Wizard shows. Wizard
Oh,
shows.
it's Wiz. Okay.
It is Ignorance. Y'all go catch it out on Saturday, right after. As soon as you guys leave us, y'all hop over there, show Wiz family some little bit of love. Tell
That's it.
them the RWO crew sent you.
That's it. I expect to see someone say in the chat, the RWO sent me.
Come on.
So, Nick, while we're closing up, what do you want to tell everybody? You got words of wisdom from Nick, the Lizard Lounge crew.
Yeah.
Baby.
Well, I mean, my cup of tea is working with animals and trying to connect with them in a way that, because I love to be in the same space. Patience. Just, give yourself patience and realize that the journey, there is no finish line. Like with the animals you saw climbing on me, there's no finish line. Like the journey is where all the money is. All those little things, the first time they eat off your tongs, the first time they aren't afraid of you, to climbing and hanging out on you. I mean, that is where the gold is. By the time you get to the point where they're sitting on your shoulder, you don't even realize it because it's been such a linear thing. So just there's no finish line. So enjoy the journey and be patient. Patience is everything.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
Patience.
It's funny you said that because I jumped for joy today when she ate from tongs.
Dude, nice.
Bro, she ate from tongs. You didn't tell me that, dude. That's awesome, bro.
Yeah, that's a big step, man. That's huge.
She ate her first little 3 pieces. I took the silver side and cut it into 3 pieces, because it's a little long. And she ate the first 3 pieces. And when I gave her the last one, she was like, all right, I'm done with the tongs. So I put it in front of her. And then she was like, all right.
Hell yeah, dude.
Absolutely.
She's a little picky when it comes to it, but she's doing good. She's doing good.
That's awesome. Good job. That's awesome. That's what I mean. Like you'll get little goosebumps when that stuff happens. And
I know it's silly.
And the whole, everybody wants, what's the fastest way so I can tame my monitor like you? It's like, gosh, it's like, just enjoy the whole thing.
The aesthetic
I'm excited for
that I'm
journey.
trying to copy
excited.
from Nick is
What's
the
that?
aesthetic. I'm trying to copy the aesthetic that you have over there with your caging and I have that, bro. I have that. I'm bald as hell, bro. But what I'm saying is the aesthetic of your, cages and the stuff you use, because I think it's like set up perfect. Like
thank you.
Inside your caging and everything. Like even your snakes, like I said, we're gonna have to work something in our schedules and get you back on and do a snake talk with the Lizard Lounge, and because even your snake enclosures are so dope.
Oh, I appreciate that.
They're so nice. Yeah, dude. I applaud that. And but it is hard. I mean, it gets difficult. So it is worth mentioning, and applauding and saying, that's awesome, because it takes a lot of work and effort to have enclosures like you have and keep them that fresh. Right. And I know they don't look that fresh all the time, but you're on it. You know what I mean? You're constantly doing it. And it shows. So freaking kudos, man, because it looks great.
Yeah, and
training.
With part of the reason I do this is so that there can be an appreciation for these animals. So then they can go to the breeders that have got the racks, and that's what they've put their time and energy into, is to produce the animals for folks, which I'm not doing. I'm just part of me thinks I'm producing maybe the interest, or to maybe be inspired.
Interest is a good inspiration. That is a good Yeah.
So I feel like
I can
that's kind of
see
my
that.
role in the reptile thing. But that, the internet could crash tomorrow and I'd still love my animals and I'd still be down here for,
Oh yeah, for sure.
but yeah. So
Facts.
And
No,
speaking
that's
of eggs, I'm gonna feed mine some Easter eggs tomorrow, everybody.
nice. Oh yeah, that's right.
Gumbo.
That's right.
Gumbo. But no, that's a good thing. Like that's what we need in this hobby. It's not always the breeders; it's the keepers like you that need to show the interest to the other people out there to bring them in to this community. I mean, they're so like it's blowing my mind how great these monitors are, and not a lot of people like my friends I've shown them like, hey man, look, I've got a black dragon. Check how big it's gonna get. And they're like, have you lost your mind? And I'm like, actually, no, man, check it out.
Yeah.
And then when I show them videos on Instagram of all these other people with the really big ones, and it's like sitting there next to their dog and their cat and stuff, and they're like, get the hell out of here, And I'm like, yeah, it's a sweet baby, And they're like, wow.
So now you can tell them to watch the Sippin' Show, episode 41, and look at his black dragon, and it was just sitting there like a Cabbage Patch Kid.
Yeah, just like holding back like a baby, Like,
Well,
you don't realize how gentle these things really can be. Really, I never. I mean, I had my first experience with peach throat, and I wish almost now that wasn't my first experience, because after that experience, I had kind of not a greatest outlook. I was kind of really scared. I was like, man, if you get something that big, you really be careful, And now that I see this, it's like, whoa, I have a way different outlook now. It's crazy.
It's tough to kind of see what, like I was talking about, those barriers. You got a defensive animal that wants to eat your face. How do you make friends? How do you make friends with that animal? Kind of like, what's your strategy? And now, it depends on who you talk to. Some people will be like, just give it time. Practice makes permanent. And if you're practicing the wrong thing, all you're doing is solidifying that. So that's why day one, I got bit, because day one, we're going to start to establish the fact that I'm not to be feared.
And you're not giving up. Yeah.
No, you can't. Just it's part of the commitment. I mean, but yeah, so I think that's a big part of that.
Heck yeah.
Persistence, patience, accountability,
reasonable haircut,
reasonable crop top. Justin, what do you want to tell everybody?
Like I tell everybody, thanks to chat for coming out. We couldn't do it without you guys, that's for sure. That's what keeps us going while we do this. And Nick, it was really nice meeting you. I learned so much tonight. I'm probably going to be blowing up your DMs here and there too, messing with stuff.
Just make sure don't send them the feet pics that you send me.
Right. I might mess up and send some feet pics, but just ignore the toes, And like I tell everybody too, be kind to one another. There's the biggest thing out there. Be kind to one another, and treat others how you'd want to be treated. That's for sure. So on that note, guys. Have a great Saturday and happy Easter, everybody. Tomorrow is Easter.
Yeah.
Spend some time with your family, eat some good food, hunt some eggs,
eat some chocolate.
Pleasure meeting you too. Pleasure meeting you guys.
For sure. And like I said, I ain't done with you.
Please. I'm here.
You're such. I feel like you're a wealth of knowledge, so I gotta juice you for all you're worth.
I put it to the test. When I'm wrong, I'm really wrong.
Hey, and it's okay to be wrong.
Yep.
I feel like there's a lot of people out there that need this knowledge. Like, there's not many people in the community that are out there just saying, "Hey, check these monitors out and look at this." Like, to me, it's mind blowing.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I also have to thank you, Nick, because you were the first one to reach out when we just came on the scene like a year and a half ago, and you were the first one to reach out and say, hey, we got to have you on the show. And I didn't even know what the hell that meant, because in the 90s there wasn't and I took about a 25-year break from reptiles. So this is I just got my first snake I got in December of 24. So this
really wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's just that's kind of where that started. But yeah, so I appreciate it, and I appreciate you reaching out, and this was amazing.
Well, monitors is my big lizards in general is my jam. Oh, yeah. If I had the room, I would have not this, I would have that, right? Yeah. But and like I said, we're gonna get him back. We're gonna talk about some snakes, and y'all go follow this man's Instagram, dude. I'm telling you. Do you have a YouTube, Nick?
We're starting one. It's Lizard Lounge Crew as well. So
Y'all go ahead. Y'all go ahead. No more. No need to say anymore. Everybody in this chat better go over to Lizard Lounge Crew on YouTube and subscribe. Okay.
Hit that bell. Hit that
Because
notification.
we got to get this man, like, we got to get people watching this. The more people that watch this, the better keepers out there and the better light that's going to get shined on these crazy big, sometimes violent lizards. Okay.
I tell you what, some good do's and don't videos, because there's not a lot out there. Like when I was scrolling, I mean, you get some guys that are doing a little here and there, but
nobody's going to tell you the don'ts because they don't want to admit they did wrong.
Yeah,
you would kill it doing that shit. Like looking at your Instagram, man, you would like I couldn't have fathomed the amount of views you'd probably get off of that stuff.
Well, thanks. I'll hit you up and you can run me through it.
What
we need to do.
And if you want, we do the RWO chat, and a lot of it, honestly, is social media stuff and how to do social media. Sometimes, like we throw questions about animals, of course, but I'll shoot you the link if you wanted to do that. It's free.
Please.
There's nothing. It's just a chat.
Just a chat with a bunch of people in it that are part of reptile community.
Please, yes.
Yeah, some venomous people, some snake people, some lizard people. It's awesome. And anybody else in the chat, if y'all want to be in the RWO, shoot me a DM. I like feet pics. And go ahead and click that link down there and follow that. And everybody on Instagram, if you didn't come over to freaking YouTube tonight, you're lame. Okay, you should have been on YouTube. You're a lame-o. And next time, I better see you there. I love you guys. The chat, you're awesome. Y'all stick around. If y'all got something to do, that's cool. But if y'all want to stick around backstage while I finish my beer and chat, that's awesome. And everybody, don't forget Tuesday, LMK Reptiles, YouTube. You got my Chooch man here and Ken at LMK. Very cool show. They do
Monday. Got me and Keys Monday. No balls and things.
That's it. No balls.
And after this, you'll make sure I'll go over to Sophisticated Ignorance and tell them the RWO sent you.
Yeah, and don't forget RWO Thursday night. RWO for life, Lizard Lounge Crew, baby, episode 41. Let's go.